stomping grounds of Pennsylvania. Barry, I grew up in Vicksburg, Pennsylvania.
Now, man Q240. Whiskey 4 kilowatt what? Okay, is that Whiskey 4 kilowatt Japan portable 1?
This is the Collins KWM 380. This is probably the most well-known classic, Collins classic, that's out there. This radio was produced from 1979 to 1982, I think it was, right after Rockwell acquired Collins. And as it says on the website, it took Rockwell's money and Collins' ingenuity to bring this to market. And it truly is a remarkable design, even up to this very day. For instance, it's one of the first, if not the first, ham radio that was able to make 10 Hz synthesized steps, digitally synthesized. So this is not some crystal pulling that all the Japanese rigs did in those days. This radio truly makes 10 Hz synthesized steps. And at that time, not even Collins professional radios did that. Like their avionics and their military radios, those were all 100 Hz step radios. So this was a very, very innovative synthesizer in this particular rig. Let's go over the other controls. This is the meter, ALC, collector voltage, a power forward, powered reverse. There is a VSWR meter in it. This is the microphone gain and the carrier if you go to CW. We have CW mode, lower sideband, upper side, and AM receive. We have two VFOs, AM/B. That was another novelty in those days. We can do reverse transmit and receive depending on what you have in the memories in the VFOs, of course. So you can receive on A, transmit on B, and vice versa. Obviously an RF and an AF gain, audio gain and RF gain. And then we have the filters. This is the AM filter. This is the stock 2.2 kilohertz single sideband filter. This is optional filter. This one has the 1.7 kilohertz filter installed, optional filter. And this is the CW filter, 350 hertz optional filter is installed in this one as well. This is the spot tone when you're in CW. I'm not sure. Yeah, there you are. That works. Synthesizer step size. So the radio doesn't really have a band switch. So if you want to change frequencies, or bands I should say, you have to do that by changing the megahertz steps. Once you're there, you can go to kilohertz steps. You can go to 100 hertz steps, which is actually the most convenient method of tuning. And then for the fine tuning, you go to the 10 hertz steps. That's another nice thing about this synthesizer. It almost feels as smooth as a modern DDS. Don't forget, this radio came out before the days of the digital direct synthesizer. And remarkably enough, this machine tunes just as nice as modern rigs. It's almost like a real VFO, an analog VFO, I should say. Excellent design. Here is Mox and Vox noise blanker. That is not installed, that option. Processor. It does not have the processor installed, but I'll let you hear the modulation in a minute. It doesn't really need it. The modulation of this radio is just excellent, and a processor is really not needed. These are the settings for the Vox, anti-gain, and trip point. And that's basically it. So it's relatively easy to operate this radio. It's not a complex radio. It's pretty straightforward, and nothing difficult like today's radios, where you have like 100,000 things behind the menus. None of that. I forgot to mention one thing. This radio has a variable passband tuning. That was a very novel design in those days. It does that by mixing up from 455 kilohertz to 6.225 megahertz. That's the crystal frequency, the crystal filter frequency. And then you can shift that filter around all the way from low to high. So that actually makes the radio also very suitable for the digital modes, because when I switch in the narrow filter, for instance I want to do PSK, I can shift that at any position compared to the BFO carrier. So that works quite well. The only thing that is a little bit strange, and you gotta get used to that, the carrier point is not changed when you switch from lower sideband to upper sideband. So for instance, I'm now at lower sideband. The transmitter will now transmit at lower sideband, but if you want to receive at lower sideband as well, you have to shift the filter manually the other way. That is not done automatically. Now it's a little strange. People might know the Drake TR7 has the same concept, only there you can choose whether you want it automatically switched or manually. Collins didn't do that. You have to do this manually. The nice thing is, of course, that you can do reversed upper sideband and lower sideband, which is nice for if you use a transfer with satellite operation. But you have to keep that in mind when you change the modes. Let's see how the modulation sounds. Quick look at the insides with the top cover removed. What you see here is the synthesizer cards, basically two cards piggybacked. This is the reference oscillator board. This is the control board, the microprocessor control board. This is an RF card and IF, and actually this is the passband tuning card, excuse me. Here is the card for the optional filter. One is installed, the other optional filter is installed on this passband card. This is the filter for the transmitter. There is room for an optional speech processor and for an optional additional filter card. Obviously here you see the power amplifier, RF power amplifier, and these are the power supply components. There's three power transistors parallel for the pass transistor. This is the input capacitor, this is the output capacitor, and the actual power control board is on the bottom, which we will show you in a minute. This is the bottom of the transceiver opened up. This is the power control card I was telling you about. This is a 24 volt step up regulator. This is the driver for the power transistors, the supply power transistors. Under here you can set different voltages for the AC. This is the RF chain, RF filters for the receiver, and this is basically the receiver exciter board. Everything that goes with that. As you see, it's built very nice. Collins did a good job on this. Here you see the radio with the top shield put in place again. It's quite a lot of screws, as you see, but very robust. Just wanted to show you the rear apron. As you can see, it has a massive heatsink. There does exist a forced blower cooling unit that you can mount on it, but you do not need that if you operate it normally in single sideband and CW. This is where the power goes. It can run off 13.8 volts as well as AC. It can handle 110 all the way up to 250. Strappable from the inside. I did put a SO239 to B and C connector there, so don't let yourself be fooled. That is still original. As you can see, it was made by Rockwell Collins, and this particular one has the serial number 1390, which is a high serial number. Like I said, not too many were made, but this is considered a high serial number, with most of the service bulletins that came out later already implemented. I think this one is from late 82. Lots of IOs that you have there. Not gonna go over all of them, but you have a pretty good idea. And of course a fuse. The rear apron for the KWM 380. This particular one is just in like excellent condition. They're hard to find in nice condition. You know, don't forget, some time has passed, and lots of hams I've noticed are not very kind to their equipment. So it's difficult to find a nice one. And this one certainly is a nice one. Unmodified, no messing around. It's just a great radio.
You know how long people have been reporting hams on 7200?
This is the 80 meter band.
Oh yeah, but
You see how long it takes the FCC to do something about them guys?
well, that's true.
I have a tremendous interference here. Look when I switch to the dummy load. And this is the background noise. S9 noise. Not much going on during the day, 80 meters. See how much power the radio puts out here. Switch it to dummy load. And we'll switch it to CW. And we'll adjust the carrier. We get about 105, 110 watt. ALC. This is where the ALC starts to kick in. And that's also where we get our 105 watts. One, two, three, four, five. Modulation works well. Let's go back to the antenna. I have it at 100 Hz steps now. This is the 10 Hz steps, which is the finest resolution, but it tunes a little bit slow. When you want to change bands, you basically do that with the megahertz steps. Antenna is not tuned for 40 meters. These are the kilohertz steps.
Stick around and key it up. Say what you gotta say. You know.
This is the passband tuning.
I have something to say. You know, and I don't know. It's ridiculous squabbling back and forth. But
40 meters.
What you want to do?
Yeah, man, y'all stay down here in Benson, North Carolina this weekend. We got Mule Days going on. There's about 100,000 rednecks and redneck women down here running around.
Well, there ain't nothing like redneck women running around without any tops.
Station to the Plano, Texas Balloon Festival, November 5 Bravo.
Me with the Boilermaker. I don't have a great day.
The W4 PTP. Right.
73 to you. We're going to clear with LYR and pick up AZW. Paul, I believe it is. Come on aboard.
SMD planned, Ernie, WA3DZS returning. Okay, you peaked at 10 over 9 on that last transmission, so you're doing okay too. So, did I hear you say you're going to try to work remote? Over.
Let's try 20 meters. Gotta tune the antenna every time I change bands, but this Collins 180 S1 does a perfect job. No problem there. Wanted to show you quickly that this radio is also WARC capable. It has the WARC EEPROM installed. WARC ROM. Let's go to the 17 meter band. 18.168 is the highest. So let's go to 1.6 and we'll switch to the dummy load and see if we get a signal. As you see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Radio transmits at the WARC frequencies. Actually, if we go to 169, we still transmit at 170. The party is over. Same thing for the 30 meter band. That's 10, 150. We transmit at 145. At 153 we get no power. That's outside the band. Then we can go to 24, and that is 890 to 990. Yeah, we do have a signal there. We do have output power. 990. We still do. And we don't. No, 990. 989. This is really the upper side of the WARC band. As you can see, WARC ROM is included in this, installed in this one. 168. Back to the antenna. Propagation is not great. Again, you can see the noise that I get from the power lines here. It's almost impossible to have this hobby in suburban areas. Unbelievable. And that's it. the KWM 380 on the WARC bands. Alright, 20 meters. As you can see, we still got quite a lot of noise. This is without antenna, and this is with. Well, it is what it is.
Charlie United. Go get him, guys. Whiskey 1, Charlie United.
¿Me escuchan? Ya que ahorita empiezan a salir los grandes, yo me quedo por acá a la escucha. Pero escuchándote bien, Rodolfo, y me alegra mucho de tenerte por acá en el QTH familiar. Tú sabes que a ustedes se les quiere y se les respeta de gratis. County Mayor. Thanks, Willie 1, Willie Mike United. In November, I have a Kilo Charlie 2 in November.
And is just spending to fix what's there.
Well, they spent a lot of money fixing stuff that was there.
Well, they were shoring it up. I mean, you go into those bridges, they all got, or as the vice president puts it, Lincoln logs holding them up.
When was he here?
A couple of years ago.
And he was talking about it then?
Yeah.
Yeah, because...
See what kind of power levels we get here. Go to the dummy load. Go to CW. It's about the same as what we had on the lower bands. 105, 110 watts. That works as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Modulating. Back to the antenna. This radio truly has an excellent receiver. Sounds nice.
Yeah.
AGC working is just perfect.
Yeah, that's the one.
Front firing speaker is nice.
Because they're doing over in Europe.
Very quiet, relaxed receiver. Considering this design is from the 80s.
I forget which one's.
Late 70s actually. Collins did an excellent job on this radio. Let's see if we still get our 100 watts at 10 meters. Alright, we're at 10 meters. There's absolutely nothing going on there. These are carriers I get from my local area network. The router gives quite a lot of interference. Nothing. The sunspots are gone. Radio still has good sensitivity on this band though. If I switch to the dummy load, you can hear the difference in noise. Atmospheric noise is way above the radio's own noise. Anyway, let's see what kind of power level we're gonna have. Back to the dummy load. And we're going to the carrier. Actually, the power is totally identical to the lower bands. On 10 meters we get 105, 110 watts. One, two, three modulated. As you can see, higher bands, same power and good sensitivity. It's really a nice radio. Can't believe there's nothing going on. Maybe some CBers. We gotta try to listen to something. No CB either. Man, the band is totally dead. Now the radio can do AM receive. Switch to the wide filter. 1 kilohertz steps.
I may go back and get a Rubicon, I don't know yet.
Well, we got lucky. We got lucky. I hear.
Some of them's already got the winch package on it. Yeah, they're laid out, but man, I hate to spend over 40,000, you know what I mean? Yeah, I hear you. Shane,
That's about all we hear. Some CB going on. Set the radio at a relatively clear frequency, 14.330. We'll go to the dummy load so we don't bother anybody. This is my little Yaesu that is tuned to the same frequency, so we can listen to the Collins modulation. Now the way you basically do is you start to transmit and then you set the microphone gain for the ALC just to kick in. That's the best setting you can have. So this is actually a little bit too high. 1 2 3 1 2 3, and then we got the modulation on this rig. 1 2 3 4 5. Excellent modulation. 1 2 3 4 5. Testing the KWM 380 transmitting modulation. 1 2 3 4 5. As you see, the radios disagree about 20 hertz. We got 14.329.98 here. And we got 14.330 around. Hard to say if that's the KWM or if that's the Yaesu. I really don't know, but it's way within specifications. This radio is very well on frequency. One of the hallmarks of this radio is the incredibly well built. This is just one of the nicest built transceivers, ham transceivers you will ever find. The KWM 380 was also sold as the HF 380, which was a commercial and military version of this radio. It's basically an identical radio. The only thing is that some options are omitted from this one that actually are installed in the other radio. But conceptually and from a construction standpoint, they are identical. So basically, Collins was selling a military radio into the ham market. Needless to say that this thing was very, very expensive in the days. I think if you do the math, it was probably close to $17,000 in today's dollars. But you really got something special if you would spend that money. Of course, that means that not too many were sold. This was only for very affluent hams and the ones that wanted to have the best of the best and eat bread without sandwiches, without anything on it, as an alternative. So, truly unique radio, still to this very day.
This is WA2 NLC.
Receiver sounds just superb. And that was it. The Collins, the Rockwell Collins, I should say, KWM 380, top of the line receiver. Even up to this very day, a very impressive radio. Thank you for watching this video.